shock and awe. Our first sounds of the Second Gulf War, springing into action on the 20th of March 2003. Now, over 6 years later, after 4 inquiries and many more protests, Sir John Chilcot and his team say they'll be looking at what really happened. So, who are they and what makes them qualified to find out? First, Sir John Chilcot, in charge of the inquiry, which will no doubt come to be publicly known by his name. He was a member of the team for the Butler Review, one of the 2 previous government-sanctioned investigations into matters relating to the Iraq War. He used to be Permanent Secretary, that's the top civil servant, at the Northern Ireland office before retiring in 1997. Second, Professor Sir Lawrence Freedman. He's Professor of War Studies at King's College London, and he was the official historian of the 1982 Falklands Campaign. Third, another noted historian. Sir Martin Gilbert is best known for writing the official biography of Winston Churchill. In the past, he's likened the relationship between George W. Bush and Tony Blair to the one between Franklin D. Roosevelt and Winston Churchill. Fourth, Sir Roderick Lyne is another civil servant. He was the private secretary for Foreign Affairs, Defence and Northern Ireland to John Major from 1993 to 1996. Later, he was the British ambassador to Russia until 2004. And finally, Baroness Usha Prashar of Runnymede sits in the House of Lords as a life peer. She currently serves on the Parliamentary Joint Committee on Human Rights. You'll notice that none of the team are lawyers, but John says that doesn't matter.
This isn't a trial, it's not a court proceeding. It's an investigation designed to bring out what happened, why, who did it, who is responsible for what. Now, behind that is an immense documentary record. Frankly, any witness who tried to dissemble or withhold would know that the stuff's there on paper anyway.
As for who they're talking to, here are some of the highlights. Up this week, Sir Christopher Mayer, who was the British ambassador in Washington till 2003. He published his account of the lead-up to the Iraq invasion in a book called DC Confidential in 2005. The book was pretty controversial because the British government declared it an unacceptable breach of trust. This Friday, the committee will be questioning Sir Jeremy Greenstock, who was the British ambassador to the UN from 1998 to 2003. He also wrote a book about his role in the Iraq War, which was scheduled to be published in 2005, but the book's release was blocked at the request of the Foreign Office. And of course, the star witness everyone's waiting for won't be up till January. Mates with George Bush.
Yeah, Blair, what are you doing?
Passionate believer that what he did was right.
If we are right, as I believe with every fibre of instinct and conviction I have that we are, and we do not act, then we will have hesitated in the face of this menace when we should have given leadership. That is something history will not forget.
And the man whose decision ultimately sent British troops to fight and die in Iraq. How much was he influenced by Mr. President? Did he plan things too hastily so soldiers didn't have the right equipment? And did he really believe this was true?
He has existing and active military plans for the use of chemical and biological weapons, which could be activated within 45 minutes, including against his own Shia population.
It's the big questions like that Sir John Chilcot says he'll be answering.